guys, welcome to Yoga for Hips Class 2. I had so many ideas, I thought I'd make 2 classes for you guys. So here we go. Go ahead and have a seat. We're going to come into an open cobbler's pose this time. I want you to come on to your sit bones and bring the soles of your feet together. And once again in cobblers, we just open the feet like a book. But this time we're going to bring our hands behind us. A lot of people, especially the guys, may prefer this pose because if they're a little tighter, this gives you just a little bit of a modification for cobblers. We're going to open the heart and just let the knees come down to the ground. It feels pretty amazing. And breathe. So inhaling and then exhaling right here. Good. Take another breath in, moving that heart to the front. And then exhale, go ahead and bring those knees together. We're going to do a little different variation of cow and cat. So here you are, maybe bring your feet out a little bit, take your hands to your shins. We're just going to round the back. Good, and then we're going to inhale, lift the spine and move the heart to the front. This is great. You can do it anytime. You can do this while you're watching TV. It always feels great. Good. And then go ahead and we're going to bring our hands behind us again, fingers facing back, coming into a variation of pigeon. This is half pigeon pose. I want you to lift your hips just a little bit, stick your right leg up in the air and cross your right ankle across your left thigh. So when we come down, you're immediately going to feel this. And then you begin to just kind of make your own adjustments. So you may want to walk your buns a little closer to your heel. And then once you're here, you can try flexing your right foot, the one that's on top, and then move your right knee to the front and then melt your right heart toward that leg. You are going to feel this. This is great for glutes and hips. So just breathe. And then a new variation of table pose, we're going to bring our fingers this time facing our hips. Yeah. And then bend those elbows. You may feel like you're kind of collapsing. You make sure you keep your heart up. Maybe move your heel out just a touch and come into tabletop with half pigeon legs. So kind of a fun variation. And up we go. So once you're here, you want to press those hips up and then drop that right knee down. Good. Breathing in. Exhale, lowering down. Once you get there, release the leg and have a seat. Good, second side. Here we go. Lift those hips just a little bit. Fingers are facing forward again. Lift the left leg, cross it over the right thigh. And be careful that you're not digging that ankle bone into that thigh. And then turn the hands and then walk yourself in just a little bit. And we're going to melt the heart toward that front shin. Good. Without sticking your neck out. Always be mindful. Lead with your heart. Breathing in and breathing out. I know you feel this. I do too. Good. And then we can switch the positioning of our hands. Elbows are back. Maybe move your heel away from your glute just a little bit more. And lift. Let those hips come up. Yeah, you may feel a little bit whopper jog here. That's normal. Let your left knee drop a little bit, but keep the hips lifting. Inhale. And then finally exhale and release the leg and relax. Good. Go ahead and roll onto your back just to simply kind of take it out of your spine there a little bit. And press those knees into the chest. This is always great. Rock side to side. And we're going to flex our feet. We're going to rock back and roll up. Once you get there, go ahead and push yourself all the way on to the balls of your feet. Good. And so I'll hop back here a little bit. And I want you to kind of feel those ankles and feel the Achilles tendons and especially feel the hips. Good. And we're going to open this up a little bit. And I'm going to face the camera just so you can see a little bit better. So once you're here, you're kind of squishy, right? Bring your hands to the middle. This is almost like you're getting ready to fly up into crow pose, but we're not. And widen your feet. So feel free to widen your feet a little bit. We want to come into this fun variation here where your feet can almost touch the floor. It's best if they can touch the floor, both heels. So coming down and coming into this pose, which is a big challenge. And you want to be careful that we're not rounding forward, but that you are long and open. Definitely a challenge not to roll forward or back and just breathe. Definitely you will feel your hips open in this pose without a doubt. So good. And then when you're ready, you just kind of place your hands and you can come back into that little squatty pose and come into a bent knee, forward bend. So keep in mind the bent knee, no need to be straight-legged, no reason to be unless you're flexible enough to do so. So come on up. And then just breathe and shake your head out. You can shake your legs, press your hips up and back. Sometimes I like to actually take my hands and manually do that. Again, you can keep the knees bent. If you feel like straightening them, go for it. And then just relax any tension in your neck. Good. And then just breathe here. So healthy for any athlete to do this pose. Pull your inner thighs back and just breathe. Good. Inhale and exhale. Wonderful. One more really fun pose, not my favorite. It's really challenging for me, so I'm being a really nice friend to teach you this pose that I don't like, okay? So here we go. From here, go ahead and step back to downward facing dog. You can just kind of reach forward and step back. Again, melting the heart, making your dog just as deep as you can get it, always checking your wrist creases, breathing fully, inhaling, exhaling, and inhaling, exhaling. Go ahead and drop your knees to all fours. Good. So follow my cues here. It's a little tricky to explain. Move both knees to the right. We're going to bring our right knee behind our left knee. And we're going to open our feet. This is called cow face legs. I know it's a weird name, but just kind of go with it. And we're going to go ahead and have a seat, just like so. And then your knees, our goal is to get your knees so that they're stacked. And if your knees are a little more higher, they're not quite even, that is totally fine. And you can stay right here in the pose, moving the heart to the front. Again, you can bring the hands behind you. A lot of people prefer that. Lots of variations. So just breathe here, and you're really going to feel your outer hip when you do this pose. So, and some people, you know, they're just born, God made them with really open hips, and this doesn't really feel like much of anything. And so, you know, maybe if you're one of those people, awesome. If you're like me, you're feeling this pose. So just breathe. And then you can always kind of fold forward into this pose as well. And when you're ready, we're just going to move out of it. Ooh, kind of untangle the legs. Give your hips a little sway. That always feels good. And move your knees off to the left. And bring your left knee behind your right knee. And open your feet. Good. And when you're ready, we're going to come back. This time the opposite knee's on top. Again, targeting the outer hips. Feel nice and strong. You're opening the heart. You can just sit like this for a while, whatever you feel is most beneficial to you. And then you can always fold forward. Good. And finally, coming forward. Ooh, and then unhook those legs and give your hips a little sway. One final downward facing dog. Breathing with sound, so make this one count. Really, really open. Good. You can kind of widen your feet if you want. Make it kind of a wide downward dog, always feels great. Breathing with sound, inhale. Exhale. And lower your knees down. Wonderful job. Hope you have a great day, and especially I hope your hips feel great. Namaste.